Welcome, welcome. Go the Cowboys. Absolutely. The Cowboys. Cowboys are getting it done. The Cowboys are getting it done. That is for sure. That is for sure. We'll just hang it about for a moment. Then we'll start normal proceedings. Oops. Okay. Alright. I'm back. I don't know how many people are watching at the moment, but I'll switch over. To the main screen here, and we can have a look at how we went, which is pretty good. We went pretty good, and I mean I had it's one of those weeks. Could have been so much better, but I can't complain. Basically 1100 or 1098 points. That is the round rank is okay. It's not the best of all time, but 2200 it's pretty good. But I was expecting a bit more, I'll be honest. But the season rank, we jumped 471 spots to 193, which is good to see, because it sort of shows that I don't know, maybe that a lot of the people in the top echelon didn't go that hard for this first buy, which I mean but at the same time, like I felt like a lot of people a lot of people on Twitter and stuff showing their scores and how many players they had. It seems like they went, I don't know, a lot of people seem to go fairly strong into the first buy. And we'll talk about the buy players and stuff. Moz, appreciate you being here. Nice, ranking nicely. It's coming good. And it could I can't be salty. We'll look at the nitty gritty in a second, but I can't be salty, but I am a little salty at a couple of players. If just a couple went a bit nicer, oh man, we could have easily jumped into the top 100 for overall rank. But you know, it is what it is, and I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. We'll go into the actual team here, because I still have 264k in the bank, which is good. It's not going to get me everybody I want, but I still have 18 trades remaining. I think I've got one trade boost. So you know, I went pretty hard for this first buy, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have used a lot more trades than that to get less players, but we'll talk about the buys. We'll talk about round 17. As you can see though, the scoring, we'll go through the scoring quickly. Tom Starling 23. Just like, oh my god, it's just so maddening, man. Ricky Stewart, please. So Starling's gone. I mean, I guess the silver lining here is that it makes my decision pretty easy. Like it's just a very simple trade out now. If Starling last week and this week played, 50, 60 minutes and banged out like big scores, it would have been a tough sort of trade out. I would have been like second guessing, do I actually trade Starling? Maybe he's a good backup for Grant. Starling to McInnes. Yes. There's another guy that I have in mind for Starling who I'm not overly keen on, but the value I think is more enticing than McInnes for now. And I'll talk more about McInnes in when we talk about round 17, but I'm not that keen on McInnes. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that later. But yeah, I was just hoping Starling would get like 40. Just get like 40 points and I'd be happy, but 23, whatever. You know, I can't be too mad. He's made me a bunch of cash. I haven't had to play him all the time, and I've played him for most of his good weeks. I've copped a couple of bad weeks, you know, from him the last two, but at the end of the day, he's done his job. He's got me some nice points. He's got me some good cash, and you know, he's done his job for the most part. Malolo, big 80, Max King 55. Whew, Max King. He had a couple of poor weeks like a month ago, but yeah, he's picked it up the last couple of rounds, and you know, he's a guy that he is a trade out in the future, but he's definitely got more cash to make if he keeps banging out 50s like he was before. Unfortunately, Pengai Jr. didn't play, which is very maddening because Pengai was still a very good pod for round 13. A fair few people jumped on Pengai, but not that many. And he would have been a really good option for round 13. I didn't trade him in only for round 13. You know, I didn't trade him in like 2 weeks ago. I got him in a while ago, and he's got me some decent points. But it is annoying that he didn't play round 13 because, yeah, like it would have been a really nice pod for this round, but didn't play. And again, I'm not that. I do think Pengai potentially is a trade out, but at the same time, I don't know. He's a wait and see, and I'm definitely not gonna rush to trade Pengai out, even though he screwed me the last couple of weeks. Kalamatangi. Yeah. There's not many good back row options for round 17, but he's definitely high on the list for potential buy-ins for that first buy, and I think he's at a decent price as well. He's come down a bit from the heights. I think, yeah, he started the season killing it, and he's had a couple of weaker scores, but his price is not too bad now, so we'll have a look at him as well. The back row killed it. I mean, the back row was sensational. Crichton 83, Olakwatu 86. I mean, that 86 could have been 100, 120, 130, but he went off. You know, they sort of rested him the last 20 odd minutes, so still 86. He was just absolutely poor old Harris Tavita. He's retiring. You know, he's retiring for a while. At the end of the year, probably, you know, he's not quite in it. I think he still played pretty well, but man, he had to face poor old Olakawatu, and he had a rough night. You know, one of the better defensive halves in the comp, and he was struggling big time. Nat Butcher 41. Unfortunately, didn't get the minutes, but 41 I'd still take. Again, Butcher's definitely a sell, but probably got, yeah, more pressing sells at the moment. Adam Elliott 99. Oh, he made up for the Tom Starling 23. That is for sure. Adam Elliott, what a purchase, what a buy, and what a guy. He's done me a great service, honestly. Even when he wasn't doing that well, he still somehow managed to get like 50 points when he wasn't getting any minutes. So honestly, at this rate, Adam Elliott, I don't know if he's going to be a keeper, but if he can continue big minutes, I mean, at the moment, there's not many better, but you know, it's one of those ones where you don't know what Ricky Stewart is thinking in terms of the Raiders forwards. You know, obviously Papali'i was out this week as well, so there's some middles to come back, and we'll see how it pans out. But Elliott, I mean, if he can continue the bigger minutes, even without the try, like, he still scored very, very nicely. Obviously, the halves didn't play. Then we move into the back line, which was, as you can see, we had plenty of players. We had so many players in the backs. Ruben Garrick, we had the vice captaincy on Garrick. I was a bit nervous because obviously Drinkwater killed it in the first game. Didn't have him. Ruben Garrick was going okay, but the Seagulls were thrashing the Warriors, but Garrick didn't really have too much involvement, and he was, he was going fine, but not loopable. And then he banged out a couple of arsey tries to get up to 99. It was beautiful, and it was a very easy loop at that point. Anyone getting like 100 points, it was like, that's an automatic loop. I saw it was crazy, dude. Seeing like people on Twitter asking like, do you loop Garrick? Do you loop Drinkwater? It's like, what are you talking about? Obviously, you take the 300 points. That's madness. Then Tago, May both killed it. Kiraz 30. I mean, again, he didn't really do anything. I'll take the 30 points. He'll make some decent cash. It's fine. Tui Pilotu, he was the one let down. I knew it was coming. I definitely knew that Tui Pilotu low score was coming. He'd been getting tries consistently, but he, like I said, he was sort of the first one on the chopping block with Starling, and we'll talk about that in a second. Billy Smith made a miraculous return, and played and got 38 points. So I mean, it's fine. He just pretty much made most of his points in tackles. Didn't really do anything, but I mean, I'll take the 38 free points. Cooler, 42. Obviously, he was my AE. So as you can see, I had a heap of players in the back line especially. So Cooler, he got the AE 42 points, which is, solid. Joseph Manu, 130. Dude, I was looking at the stats. I didn't get to watch most of this game, but I was watching the stats, and my God. There's obviously been a bit of like, there's been half of the people calling Manu the greatest fullback of all time and carrying on. And then the rest of the people are saying that he pretty much ruined the Roosters' attack. So, but for Supercoach, I loved it, dude. He just runs the footy more than you'd ever probably want the fullback to. But, I'll take the 130 and the tackle breaking, the offloading. Whew, it was a good pickup. And I'm pretty happy to have him. I think, the Roosters have a bit of a tough run coming up, but I still think Manu is a keeper till the end. Probably. I think he is. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Up the Bronx. Dude, the Broncos are starting to give me some hope. Not of a grand final or a premiership this year, but there's some good stuff happening. Now we begin the 3 weeks where Manu does nothing. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I know you were saying not to buy Manu, and I do respect it, because I do think he is up and down for sure, especially in the centers. But the thing is that Tedesco, do they rest him? They probably rest him, right? I mean, the Roosters maybe aren't going good enough to rest Tedesco. That's probably the only thing. But if Tedesco gets rested at all, Manu slots straight into fullback, and even if they're not scoring points, he runs the ball just so much that he's gonna score well. So even with the tougher matchup, I think Manu was a good pickup over this period, just for the hope that he plays a bit more fullback, gets way more involved. And yeah, but that's the only thing. The Roosters aren't going great, so maybe Tedesco has to play. But we'll see. We'll see how that shapes up. And then Suwali with the 45. Thankfully, he got that try. But again, it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, everyone had Suwali, so a lot of these players have scored well. It's like everybody had them. And yeah, that's pretty much how it shakes up. The trades, I'm pretty much, from memory, they did last year. Yeah, they're obviously going better last year, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how, obviously, how Origin actually goes. Injuries could happen, all sorts could happen. You just never know how it's going to go down in Origin. But, so, like I was saying, we're in a pretty good spot. Now, For round 17, we don't have a lot. Don't get me wrong. At the moment, we've got Papali, Talakai, Dylan Brown, Nico Hines. Probably not, because if he gets picked as 18th man, then he's not going to play, which is annoying. But again, everybody's going to have Nico Hines, or everybody sort of in the top echelon's going to have Hines, so it doesn't really matter if he doesn't play. And then that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So we've got to do quite a bit to make up the ground. But that's the thing. I have saved a few trades. Got 18 left, and yeah. I'll talk about the buy for a second here, because it's been a weird one, because I feel like this round 13's buy was definitely, there was so many good back row options, and a lot of back row options that you'd probably, potentially be keepers. But in round 17, there's very little back row options, and a heap of center wings. There's so many center wing keepers to try and get into the team. So that's what we're gonna be trying to do. What I meant was, I don't know if he's a keeper to the end, but was decent pick if you've got trades. Yeah, that's fair. And honestly, I don't know if he's a keeper at center, because if we do look at his scores, he's got the big scores in him, and he's averaging 70 with 130, obviously helps, but 47, 29. 75, 118, 104. He went on a bit of a run here. 27, 100, 27, 60, 91, 43, 77, 130. He's been more consistent over as of late, but I don't know. It's sort of a wait and see on Manu, but his form at the moment, if he's just getting the ball, and it's sort of the nice thing with the Roosters, because they're not very good at the moment. They are sort of relying on Tedesco last couple of weeks, and Manu as well. They're sort of just giving them the ball and hoping that they do something for them. So that's sort of been a benefit. What's the next team you're thinking of to do a career with? Oh, well, so I'll spoil it. I'm actually I've started a Rugby League Live 3, old school Rugby League Live 3 career mode. And I'm going to do, who am I going to do? I'm going to do the Cowboys on Rugby League Live 3 for a bit of a change up. I thought it'd be a bit of fun. But let's have a look. So Tom Starling, as I touched on, there's plenty of guys that I've got to sort of get rid of over the next few weeks. So Starling I'm definitely getting rid of this week. Like I said, he's made me good cash. He's got me some good points. It's time to get rid of him. In the front row, I think Malolo is. I'm probably going to keep him. Max King probably has to go, but at this, he's not a pressing issue. Papali, obviously not. Pengai Jr. again. I potentially a keeper at front row. I don't know. We'll see how many good options there are. For the round 17, there's not off by heart. There's not a lot of front row options, so we'll suss that out. The back row, Crichton, Olakau'atu are keepers in my mind. Butcher has got to go at some point. Talakai keeper. Elliott probably has to go, but we'll ride the big scores if they keep coming. We'll keep an eye on. And then unfortunately Ben Trebojevic is just a bit of enough, so it's fine. The halves, Cleary, Munster, Brown, they're all staying. And then Nico Hines, so very long thinking or future thinking. Potentially for round 17, I might look at swinging Hines into fullback and picking up Moses as a bit of a smoky, because the Eels have a pretty good run, and I think they take on the Tigers in that bye. So Moses could be a good little pickup at halfback. And he's actually been going pretty good this year regardless. So potentially we do that. And then the back line is where it's tricky though, because there's so many good options for round 17 and a lot of potential keepers. But like, I feel like like when I swing Talakai down, I'm gonna have Talakai, Garrick, their keepers in the back line. Tago and Taylor May, I feel like are both keepers as well. Like I don't I don't really want to trade Tago or May out, but I probably have to get rid of one of them. And I'm feeling like Tago is probably the guy to go because he is scoring nicely. I mean, he's averaging 60, but they probably do use him more as a decoy more often than not and kick out the back to Taylor May to score. Probably happen a few more times. So out of these two, I probably think May is the keeper, but I feel like Tago is also a keeper. So it's going to be tough. Tui Pilotti's got to go. Billy Smith got to go. Cooler's got to go. And Sawali has got to go as well. But also Sawali potentially could stay. But there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts going to be happening over the next few weeks. I got 11.27 for top 1%, went up to 6K. Yeah, I mean, if you target the buys, you can definitely make up some good ground. Because a lot of people sort of don't think about it. They don't worry about it. So yeah, if you sort of work for the buys, which I usually always do, because it's just such a good way to make ground up on the competition. I kind of have to disagree in saying as long as we finish the year where we are now, top 4, we are a chance to go all the way because they say to win the comp. Yeah, I would love to agree, but I just can't see the Broncos beating the Panthers or the Storm. I mean, the Broncos just never beat the Storm in general, but full strength Storm, full strength Panthers, I just can't see the Broncos doing that at the moment. You know, in a couple of years, I think Broncos could be back on top if they can retain most of their young guys, but we'll see. Lomax or Mulatalo for round 17. Honestly, both are great. That's the thing. There's so many good backline options. Looked to offload Kiraz and Tupelotti this week. Unfortunate Tupi. Yeah. So, well, I'm going to go through the trades I'm thinking. So, Starling, like I said, Starling's got to go this week. There's no two ways around that. He's going to start losing a lot of cash. And the guy I'm going to bring in at the moment is, where is he? Let's go highest price. You might know him. Brandon Smith. Now, Brandon Smith, I don't... he's $378K. He's dropped $200,000. He's going to be playing dummy half this week. You would expect... Well, so this is the thing with Brandon Smith, right? Like, I'm bringing in Brandon Smith because I feel like Grant is going to get rested regardless. Smith plays round 17, and even if Grant does play in between Origin, Brandon Smith surely plays bigger minutes, you know, at dummy half or lock when Grant sort of gets a spell. So he hasn't been, like, he's been bad. Like, let's be real, Brandon Smith hasn't been good. That's the only thing I don't like. His lowest score of 1 helps. He got 1. That was the week he got injured, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, he had a killer against the Parramatta, 33. I mean, his minutes have been sort of up and down. When he's had bigger minutes, he scored well. And then a bit more consistency. I mean, even that 59 minutes, 37 against Cowboys, but Cowboys obviously dominated. And then 66 minutes, 54 against Manly, where he played dummy half as well. So I feel I like the pickup because surely, like, he hasn't looked that good. Like, he hasn't really... I think he scored 1 try for the season. You just know Smith is going to start barging over for a few tries if he's playing dummy half. So I think Smith is a good pickup. And also, it makes me... Not a lot of cash, but it makes me a bit of cash. And it's just nice to sort of interchange between Smith and Grant to sort of have both of them there. Starling to McInnes. We'll look at McInnes because McInnes is also a good pickup, but I could pick him up in the second row as well for like Nat Butcher or Adam Elliott. Grant will back up from Origin coming off the bench and still might have a few forwards coming back. Yeah, it is true, but I don't know. I was sort of thinking about Smith for a while, and I've gone with my gut for the most part over the season, and it's worked out fairly well. So I mean, he's just such a cheap price at the moment. I feel like he can't really get lower than that, and if he's getting bigger minutes, surely the attack starts to come. But if we do look at McInnes, because we'll look at McInnes for a second here. Where is he? Second row. That'll do. He obviously got that the big score. What did he get? Like 90 odd. But I still I'm not sold on McInnes because if we look at his stats, obviously coming back from injury, didn't play many minutes. Then we start getting 57 minutes, 73. That's good. Obviously some attack in that though. 80 minutes against the Storm, 41. Understandable. 54 minutes, 47. 72, 65. It's pretty good actually. It is pretty good. I can't deny. But the minutes haven't been as good as I look at the minutes. 64. And then 59, 50, and 53. Like, he's had some pretty good attacking stats in, like, the last few weeks. And McInnes, I'm just a little hesitant to jump on yet. I feel like I will get McInnes in the second row for, like I said, a Nat Butcher. But I'm not... I don't know. I don't think I'm jumping on him instantly. I picked up Smith a couple of weeks ago. I think it'll work fine for the Origin period. Yeah, I think Smith is a good little mid-range to cheapy pickup for now. McInnes is basically PPM. Yeah, he is just a solid. If he's playing 50 minutes, he's gonna score 55 at the least usually. But I don't know. I feel like I will pick him up, but I don't think I need to yet. Like, let's be real. He's not gonna get 90 points again. He's not going to score a try and get 2 line breaks in the next couple of weeks. So I feel like I can wait on him. And then the other guy, so Tui Pelotu has got to go. And the guy I am looking at getting is, where the hell is he? Not second row. Center wing, brother. The guy, well, we'll go through the options. So, Adam Dwyer will be back pretty soon. He's probably way too expensive, but, you never know. Maybe he comes in as an option for round 17, potentially. Mulatalo, great option. Alex Johnston, potentially a really good option. Campbell Graham is going to be heavily owned. Nofalum has been dropped, so probably not. Zach Lomax, really good. Jesse Ramey's been pretty good. There's so many good backline options, but the guy I am very keen on, Marcus Sevo. Marcus Sevo. I see someone just commented, Sevo, Graham, Lomax, or Mulatalo. I mean, all of them, really. I don't know. I mean, I like Sevo, dude. Like, I'm gonna put him in now. I don't know if he's actually confirmed to start this week, but I mean, they're taking on the Bulldogs for one, and Sevo is definitely underpriced, playing on that left-hand Parramatta edge. I love the Sevo pickup. And I like that he's 486, which is, I feel like it's going to scare a few people off going him early. Obviously, he's coming back from a serious injury, so I could definitely talk myself out of picking him up. But I don't know. I feel like you just Sivo's New South Wales Cups are a joke last 2 weeks. Yeah, I saw that as well. I was like, he's not going to do that obviously every week, but it is a nice little barometer for what he can do. And you just know, like, Sivo in the next 3 weeks, right? He probably scores a hat-trick in one of those 3 weeks. That's the type of player he is. And he's got the base stats. He's got the power. The Eels are an attacking team in general. So I like the Sivo pickup for Tui Pilotu. Let's read a few questions. I've sort of glossed over a few. I've gone with Green Smith combo at hookers, McInnes in second row. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. I feel like I will pick up McInnes because he is one of the better options for round 17. But yeah, I don't think there's any real urgency to get him in this week. Whereas Brandon Smith, I mean, if he scores a couple of decent scores, he's going to start making cash. So, you know, you're getting him at his bottom dollar. Tui Pilotu to Ramsey, if Ramsey is named a fullback. Honestly, Ramsey, maybe? I don't know. How has Ramsey been going? He's 325k. So I'm assuming, yeah, 1, 2, 3. He obviously played on the wing. Against the Warriors, he scored 94, and then the Bulldogs scored 54 at fullback. So I mean, that's pretty solid. I just couldn't have faith. Like, the problem is, like, surely Tyrell Sloan eventually comes back into that team, and if you bring in Ramsey and he doesn't play round 17, you'd be absolutely filthy. You'd be so filthy. So I don't know. I couldn't risk Ramsey when there's so many, like, good options in the back line. If you have the balls to go him, you could definitely have a really good pod, but I don't think I could do it. Never touch anyone coming back from an ACL. Never works out. And gossip. Yeah. But, I mean, that's the thing. He has been playing footy for a few weeks now. I mean, that's the thing. But that's the reason I want to go him. Because, for one, he's pretty expensive. 2, he's coming off the injury, so a lot of people are going to be scared to go him. It's a super pod move. Like, I definitely think a lot of people are going to trade him in, but he's in 567. He's not even 0% of teams, dude. Like, I mean, that's a pod, and I feel like, I mean, Sivo, he's not an agility winger. Like, he's not a guy that relies on fast stepping. He's just a power winger, and obviously, it still affects your ACL. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't have any impact at all, but he's not one of these nippy little quick guys. He's a big boy on the wing that's gonna take a lot of carries, bust some tackles, and hopefully score a few tries. And that's sort of what I want from him. And I feel like it's a good pod move. I feel like a lot of people will probably jump on, but not that many. And they're playing the Bulldogs. No, who are they playing? Yeah, they're playing the Bulldogs, which is a pretty nice matchup for his first game back. But we'll see. I could change my mind, but I don't know. I like it. I like the little bit of a risk involved in that one. What's the plan to get Baps back in? I think I'll have to sell Cobbo for him. Yeah, so Paps is, like, obviously his first priority. Now, I've got a couple options. Now, Suwali obviously he's got a bit of value to him. Now, Paps is like 900k still, which is not great. So the thinking is, I mean, I hope it's a tricky one. Honestly, it's a tricky one because I want guys like probably the back line. Probably Lomax is my #1 target for round 17 in the back line. Campbell Graham also up there. and Mulitalo to an extent, but they're so expensive. All those guys are so expensive. And Sawali, 400k, Billy Smith, 300. All these guys like 300, 400. So I've got to make money. This is the first time in the season where I've needed some more cash. And I feel like it's probably a good, like, couple of weeks to nuff. Well, not nuff, but I would just love a couple of cheapies. You know, I've got a lot of money in the front row still. You know, Pengai Jr., if he doesn't start killing it, I can nuff him out or get him to a cheapie. Butcher or Elliott, I could definitely, you know, get in for a cheaper guy. So there's options there to make a bit of cash. At the moment, I like to have the depth, but in a couple of weeks, when Pappenhausen is back, I feel like I'm going to probably try to do everything I can to get him in. And, you know, if I got to move Sawali, or, I mean, at the end of the day, if I needed to move Manu, you know, if Manu can score a couple of big ones over the next couple of weeks, and I can move Manu on for Paps, I mean, honestly, I'd probably take that because, you know, like Ninjas was saying, like, Manu might not be a keeper till the end of the year. And if I can take some big scores, get him up to Paps, obviously Pappenhausen's a better fullback than Manu, at, you know, in terms of point scoring at the end of the day. So that's the thinking. I know I did say I was going to swing Talakai down. I was going to swing Talakai down for Tui Pilotu and trade Tui Pilotu for a second rower, but when I saw Sivo was back, I was like, nah, we're getting Sivo in. We're getting Sivo in, dude. But there, that's sort of the thinking with Pappenhausen. Warriors, Titans, and Dogs for the next 3 weeks for the Sharkies. Hard to ignore Ramian or Mulitalo. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get Mulitalo. He's like 600k. He just keeps scoring. Sloan won't be back unless Ramsey is injured. I mean, yeah, maybe. Oh, you're talking about Dwayne? Apologies. Apologies. I missed half the conversation, and then so yeah, Dwayne, yeah, definitely. He's too expensive. But potentially, you know, if he comes back a bit earlier, loses a bit of cash, maybe. But yeah, still too expensive, and I'm not even sure. Like, I'm assuming he'll play center, but who knows? If you got the cash, to Pilotu to Penasini. No. I mean, I got rid of Penasini. I had Penasini at the start, and he's been really good, but I'm definitely not going to bring Penasini back in. But yeah, I mean, if you kept Penasini for the year, then you're doing pretty well, because he's just busting out 50s and 60s every week. Do you think Matt Burton is a good pickup? No. Like, if you picked up Burton like just before the bye and you played him this week, then I think he was a good pickup. But I just don't really think there's much point in picking up Burton now. I mean, he's obviously scored well, but I think there's better. Yeah, I wouldn't go Burton. What's your team value? What is the team value? It's how do you check that? NRL home. It is 13 milli 401k. So we've definitely made some money. We've definitely made some coin over the year so far. I've sold Grant, loses 150k, and Smith makes 150. Yeah, I guess that is another way to get Pappenhausen back, but I don't know. I feel like there's going to be other ways for me to do it. And Grant, it's just it is a bit of a wasted trade, right? Because you're obviously going to want to bring Grant back in. Now, if that all goes to plan and he does lose a bunch of cash and, you know, doesn't play many games over Origin, then it's beautiful. But if he plays all the games he's available and kills it, then you're sort of stuffed up a little bit there. So I don't know. The people selling Grant, I get it. But also I'm probably not going to. I don't think I'm going to do it, because I'm just going to have to bring him back. And I've already done it with Pappenhausen. I sold him. I'll have to bring him back. I did it with Crichton ages ago. I mean, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I just don't like to do. I just don't like doing it. Should I add Pengai to my bench? I mean, if you've got Pengai and he's playing, then I would say yes, depending. Thoughts on getting Cody Walker? Yeah, I mean, I think Walker is a good pickup. I mean, it's you either get Dylan Brown or Cody Walker, depending which one you don't have. But yeah, Dylan Brown or Cody Walker. I think Brown is better, but Cody Walker can definitely jag some stats, that's for sure. But yeah, let's sort of swing the team around as like who's gonna be my 17 this week if all things go to plan, which probably not. But that's the thing with the team at the moment. Like I've got a heap of options, which is nice. I've only got the one nuff in Ben Trebojevic, so it's looking good. I feel good about the team. I've got most positions fairly covered. Definitely a lot to sort of do over the next few weeks, like I said. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. The reserves are going to be tricky, but I'm sort of hoping that well, Hines will obviously play. I should probably switch Hines and Cleary, because Hines obviously isn't playing Origin. He's in the 18. Brown, I guess you should. This is gonna be the tricky week, right? Because you don't know if they're gonna back up to start. So it could stuff you up a little bit. Talakai, man, we got to start. And this is sort of the thing with having a stacked team, is that I sort of want a few of these guys not to back up because I've got the replacements. I've got the replacements because at the moment I'm not playing Pengai Jr., Adam Elliott, even Soali, and even Billy Smith to an extent. Kiraz can score okay potentially, and Max King 50. So yeah, I've got options. So it's looking okay at the moment. Hey Matt, how you going? I'm going well. It's going good. Supercoach is going nicely. It's all coming up pretty sweet at the moment. Who do you reckon my halfback should be? I mean, you've got to have Cleary. And then if Hines is your fullback, then probably Moses is a good pickup because he'll play 17. They got a good draw coming up. Cleary isn't playing. Is he not backing up? I mean, he probably won't back up. They don't need him to. So I wouldn't expect Cleary to back up. Who are the Sharks versing? Oh, the Warriors. Oh, they're taking on the Warriors. Yeah, Hines is probably a pretty good captaincy option, I would say. Vice captain Walker, captain Hines. Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. Got to play it safe. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to get caught out. That is for sure. As a Broncos fan, we'll be playing Elliott versus us this weekend. Cannot believe we're $1.45 favorites. I mean, I think it's respectable that we're pretty heavy favorites. I mean, the Raiders have been pretty good over the last couple of weeks, but the Broncos have been winning well. And they've been winning without Reynolds, and Reynolds is back. So I think it's fair enough that the Broncos are favourites. But yeah, I think Elliott, geez, I mean, if Elliott plays big minutes, he's a keeper. So it's just Ricky Stewart. You don't know what he's going to do with the goddamn reserves. But the fact that Papali'i, he might back up, but surely he doesn't play massive minutes. So Adam Elliott probably still gets pretty decent minutes. If you don't have Cleary, who do you reckon we should pick? When do you reckon we should pick him up before the game versus Warriors? I mean, if you don't have Cleary, if you don't have Cleary, you might as well wait until after the Origin period, honestly, because yeah, the Panthers don't really have a need to overplay him. So yeah, if you don't have Cleary, you should just wait till after Origin. It's not really he could come out and kill it in a couple of games in the meantime, but I think overall it's probably better not to jump on him because he is going to miss quite a few games, you would think. Who should I get for second row? Should I move Talakai? I mean, depending on your team, I think Talakai is definitely going to move to the center wing. But I guess at the moment, because there's so many good center wing options for 17, maybe you just keep Talakai in the second row for now. And then, because there's not many good second row options. Because if we look, I'll go through the forwards quickly. The stream will end pretty soon, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Oh, you can't. I don't have Supercoach Plus, but it's fine. But let's have a look at. We'll go front rowers and second row forwards. Let's have a gander at who we've got. I'm mates with Luai, and he said Cleary and him will get rested so they can survive the origin period. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they do. Are you a Broncos fan? Yes, I am a Broncos fan. But let's have a look. There's not many good options. There's not many good options at all for round 17. I'm gonna be honest. It's not looking great. So Papali'i, obviously number one priority. You should have him. 59% of people have him, or 51, I should say. You should get him in. If you don't, you got to have him. Talakai also is great. Sorry, just looking at something quickly. So yeah, Talakai. Then we go down. So look at all the top. Like they don't play, dude. Kickout doesn't play. Yo, Tarpany, Tago, Crichton, Murray will be at Origin. Madison was like the best pickup for round 17, but now he's made the Origin team. So you're probably not going to go Madison. Also, he's goddamn expensive now. Olukwatu doesn't play. Kalamatangi. So yeah, Kalamatangi is definitely a pretty good pickup. He's just, I don't know, he's averaging 60, but yeah, his 3-round average only 42. He's gone off the boil, which is, I mean, is sort of good because his price is down. But he started, I don't know, Kalamatangi, 49, 45, 86, 48, 98, 50, 111, 71, and then like 40s, even high 30s. Playing 80 minutes as well. Those first two games he only played smaller minutes, but yeah, I don't know. Kalamatangi's sort of the worst Olukwatu and probably worse Kickout and worse. Who else have you got? couple other sort of barging back row options, but yeah, I think Kalamatangi is a good pickup, but I'm not sold on getting him yet. I'm still not really impressed with the Rabbitohs. I'm not impressed with the Rabbitohs. Ewan Aiken doesn't play. Tino. So then you go down to Joe Offengawi, who, I mean, granted, he is averaging 58, which isn't bad, but I'm definitely not getting Offengawi. Papali'i won't play. Nenai, Tumlolo, Haas. Haas will be at Origin. If you go down, I mean, look at this, dude. there's not many options. Josh King. I got rid of Josh King a while ago, which I'm pretty happy with. I mean, if you have Josh King, then obviously I would just keep him till round 17, I guess, now. But you probably shouldn't still have him, in my mind. Jai Arrow. I mean, again, I got rid of Arrow a while ago. He just wasn't doing it, but he didn't make Origin, which was surprising. So, you know, if you've got him, it's a good number. Teague Wilton actually is a potential good pickup. If he can just retain that back row spot. Because if we look at when he's played big minutes, he's scored like pretty darn well. Only got 36 against the Roosters, but he's been pretty solid. He's fairly cheap. So, you know, Teague Wilton, if he's cementing a spot. Tyson Frizzell is probably the one back rower that I'm pretty keen on. I was pretty shocked that he didn't make Origin, and I mean, his stats are just very consistently good. He's had a couple of low scores. I mean, the 39 against Storm, he only played 66 minutes. And then the 43 against the Sharks, he only played 55 minutes. And then every other game, like, he's been pretty much above 50 and above 70 for a lot of them. So yeah, Frizzell is definitely a guy I'm keen on. And then yeah, there's not much else. Karen McInnes, obviously, like I said, is probably another really good option in the back row. So I probably will end up picking him up, but yeah, there's not much else. There's not much else. There's not much else at all, but yeah, I'll do a like a separate video, really sort of diving into the buy for round 17 in a probably couple of weeks. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap up the stream. I'll answer a few more questions if I've missed any. Can you do a revisit to Rugby League Live 3? It will be good content. I mean, I will be uploading some Rugby League Live 3 pretty soon. Matto should be back up on Monday this week, to be fair. No. I mean, yeah, he might. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true, because he is only on the bench, and I can't see him getting heaps of minutes. So yeah, it's probably fair enough. But I'm still I can't go Madison over this period. He's just, I mean, he's too expensive at the moment. He's been killing it. I've been annoyed, but yeah, I can't go Madison. If you went him a few weeks ago, you're laughing because he's just been on fire. But I guess that's the downside, is that he was been killing it, so he made Origin. But yeah, that'll pretty much wrap the stream up. Appreciate you guys coming out. It's been a fun one. It's been a while since I've had time to actually sit down and stream, but yeah, everything's going pretty well. Like I said, we got 286 in the bank, 16 trades left. I mean, we don't have a heap of trades left, but I think we got enough. We got enough to put together a good team for round 17 and beyond. And then we got good depth to sort of cover over this Origin period as well. So yep, I'll what to do when you got lots of player but only got 12 trades left. Only 12 trades left. That's pretty rough. I mean, honestly, you might as well just rip through them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You gotta prioritize your trades, dude. Just, don't trade willy-nilly. When you get down to like 10, you've really got to start panicking, I reckon. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming out, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.